Hey everybody, welcome live to the Jim Master Show, live entertainment lifestyle celebrity talk show series. Hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for joining us all around the world. Our next guest coming up for you is Albert Cummings. He is an award-winning, extraordinary, very talented blues musician, virtuoso guitarist, singer, songwriter extraordinaire. He might even play live for us as well, gift you with a little picking of those strings. There's wonderful sounds on the guitar for all of us. We shall see. Welcome, everybody. Good to have you with us. We're here in the New York area in the United States. That's where the show generates from. And it's so great to have you here. If you want to comment during the show in the chat room, feel free to do that, or just leave a comment in the comments section. We always love having you guys here. Let's tell you about our guest so we can welcome him right away to the show. He, about a week ago, believe it or not, he's here in the United States, but he was in Romania. I mean, he travels the world with his music. His unique background as a renowned guitar player and custom home builder. In addition to being a renowned blues guitarist, musician, singer-songwriter, he is also a home builder of custom homes. He's been doing that forever. And he believes that being a custom home builder enriches his music with a depth and precision rarely seen in the industry. This blend of skills, being a custom home builder as well as a renowned musician and performer, it enhances his performance and recordings, which stand out, appealing to blues aficionados and those who appreciate intricate craftsmanship in art. He has earned a reputation as one of the most dynamic and innovative blues artists of our time. And with his extraordinary guitar skills, heartfelt lyrics, and soul-stirring performances, he really knocks it out of the park. He loves what he does. And again, he travels the world to do it. This is his newest music that's just out now, Albert Cummings, Strong. What a cool cover that is, right? There's a little promo graphic there. He has cultivated a dedicated fan base that's around the world. The song and album Strong represents a culmination of his musical journey and promises to be a remarkable addition to his impressive discography. He's got a lot of music out there. What makes Albert's story particularly interesting is the dual role he plays as a successful home builder and renowned musician. That unique combination of talents adds a captivating layer to his music and story. Albert's story has been shared in various places, as well as on CNN. They did a whole story on him as well. Tycoon in the making, too, on Blues Guitarist. It's really fantastic. And the song and the music that's out, amazing. Matter of fact, the new album titled Strong, which you see on your screen, has landed at #1 on the Billboard Blues Chart. #1 on the Billboard Blues Chart. Congratulations to Albert. We're so excited to have him here. Again, his story is really something quite special. Being a custom home builder as well as a renowned blues guitarist, musician, singer, and songwriter of some really good sounding music. And again, we are so excited to have an opportunity to feature him exclusively here on the Jim Master Show for all of you. Let's welcome our new friend to the show, Albert Cummings, right here and right now. Albert, welcome to the Jim Master Show, my friend. It's great to have you here.
Glad to be here, Jim. Thanks so much. I like your whole intro. That's I'm feeling pretty like, wow. That's
professional and high-class operation, right? Well, speaking of first class and things of that nature, I mean, you literally just got back to the States from Romania. Tell us about it. Cool.
Well, yeah, Romania. And then a few weeks before that, we were in Norway. And then a couple weeks before that, we were in Ireland. And yeah, we kind of get around. It's starting to, the secret's out.
And that's all performances and music.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there really is a big international following you've developed.
Don't tell anybody. Everybody's got to keep a secret now.
It's our secret
here. Like a big secret out there. Don't tell anybody.
Well, the secret's out on Jim Master's show. The world knows now, my friend. That's great. So I mentioned, this, which is really what makes this a unique story. Not only are you a very, very talented virtuoso guitarist and musician, singer, songwriter, a craftsman of the music, you're a craftsman by trade as far as being a custom home builder and more. What came first for you, the home building and construction and all of that, or the music?
Well, it's like the chicken and the egg, really, on that one, because when I was 12 years old, I picked up the 5-string banjo, and that was the first time music entered my life. And the reason I went to the banjo is because I was I was a big kid, but I couldn't fit my hand around a guitar. And they might have made shorter scale guitars back in those days, but I couldn't, I didn't have access to one. And my father always had a guitar hanging around the house. So I'd try to play that guitar, but I couldn't get my hand around it. And then a friend of my father's was playing, he was trying to learn banjo. He was probably 60 years old then or something. And he's like, he saw that I was trying to reach, and he said, "Hey, Albert, you should try this." And I was like a little country bumpkin, and I love bluegrass music. I still do to this day. I think some of the greatest players in the world are bluegrass musicians. They're just crazy good. So I took to the banjo, and that was the first time music entered. But by the time I was 18 or 19, I had no, I'd already given up the banjo. I could mess around with guitar a little bit, but I had no idea about music. And then in I guess it was 86, I saw Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble play in Boston at the Orpheum Theater. And I remember walking out of that show thinking to myself, I remember I don't need to go in. I mean, I will go into the whole story if you want, but I went to the show by myself because Stevie was kind of new then and nobody really knew of him. So, I was into music and I knew this guy and I'd been listening to him. I had a brother-in-law that was giving me these tapes, of these great bands. And I was like really into this whole new music thing. And I remember walking out of the Stevie show thinking to myself, I remember saying to myself, walking down the stairs on the way out, "Goodbye, banjo." That was it for me. And I don't think I've touched that thing for more than 15 minutes in, 30 years. And so I started in partners with, I'm a 4th generation builder. So I'm Albert J. Cummings, the 4th, right? And my father was a builder, my grandfather was a builder, and my great grandfather there wasn't a lot of building back then, but he was part of anything that was being built. You know what I mean? So he was he was the beginnings of a builder, if you will. This is 1912 or something back in his day or whatever, So we're in a real rural area and there wasn't a lot of building here. So I went, I graduated from Wentworth in Boston. I got out of school and I went right into the business with my dad and became partners with him for like 6 years. And then when I was 27 years old, I was still just fooling around with guitar. When I was 27, we went to a wedding. One of my friends got married and all my buddies were like, "Come on, get up and play with a band." And I was like, "No way, man. I can't play with a band. I've never played with a band." And they were like, "Come on, come on, come on, come on." And they finally they made it hard for me to say no because they went up and tipped the band or whatever. They brought the band drink. I don't know what they did, but the band's like, "Albert, we're not playing another song until you come up here," whatever. They're giving me all this. So I'm like, all right. So I got up and I played with them. And it was in those 3 minutes or whatever that song took, something grabbed me by the shirt collar and just said, "You need to pay attention to me." And that was music. So music came early. But then construction came and I got deep into construction. And then along comes music and says, "Hey, did you forget about me?"
Mm-hmm.
And I never dreamed about touring or playing or that people would come and, we'd see packed houses. I never, that was not even a thought or a goal or a dream or anything. So I always say music found me. Somehow it found me. Whether it found me when I was 12 and stayed with me the whole time, it got me. And, just like anything else, it's kind of like carpentry work. The more you do it, the better you get at it. It's
exactly right. And if
like
you love
anything,
doing it too, it's
like
even
golf.
better.
I stink at golf. Well, I stink at golfing because I don't golf. You know, it's like,
If you know, right?
but I don't have the desire to golf. You know what I mean? But I have the desire to like see the world. I want to see everything, and I want, so that makes me play harder, play, you know, the dual career thing is a really tough thing. I don't recommend it to anybody. It's not easy. I mean, it's like, but I don't know. I'm just crazy enough to keep it going, and I love both, and they both give me something that the other can't. So it's hard for me to not do it, So
How do you feel? I know people have said that the fact that you are a custom home builder and you have that expertise, and you're a fabulous musician and singer songwriter, guitarist. How do those two worlds blend? How do they complement each other? How do they pull from each other?
Well, I think I'm probably a little crazy with this, but I think they almost go hand in hand to me. They're like, they're both about passion. And, I've been,
Got your tongue there, Albert? It's when you're live, anything can happen. If you can hear me, Albert, I think your Wi-Fi froze, perhaps, or your computer, PC, laptop, perhaps. He's probably going to disappear in just a second, so hopefully he'll come back in. If you can hear me, Albert, just come back into that same guest access link. Froze there. It's a good shot. You're not looking up at the ceiling, but it looks like you froze there a little bit. Maybe there's no storms coming through, I don't think, at least not in our area. He left off with his father, right? He's talking about his father. Albert? Yeah, just if you hear us, just go back out and come back in, because it'll hold that freeze frame for just a little bit longer, and then it will do that. It does it for a while, gives the person a chance to figure it out, but he'll come back in. He's got the link. Anyway, that's a great story so far that we're learning about Albert, and the fact that he is a custom home builder as well as being a musician, and how the carpentry and the building and all of that started first for him, and then the music came along, which is kind of cool. It's really exciting to have him here on the show. And again, we'll have him back in just a second. I'm sure he's plugging in the wires and rebooting and kicking his computer as well. But just want to tell you that he's been doing this for a long time, as he was saying. And he's had an opportunity to be inspired by a lot of different people over the years, and a lot of great music. He said he's always enjoyed bluegrass music. There is the current album that is out. This is literally hot off the presses. It's called Strong. And you'll want to get this. We'll tell you in a minute how you can get it as well. But Albert is back, the custom home builder.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Sorry. My Wi-Fi was full. I don't know which end that was on. Sorry.
I can imagine what end it was on, right? It's never on the right one.
Yeah.
So you were talking about your father and everything. Matter of fact, one of the viewers asked, were they disappointed that you wanted to be a musician? I would imagine not, because you're still doing the building, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, it was never that. That was never
an issue at all.
That was never an issue. But my father told me when I was, I remember I had a guidance counselor that sent me to college, because my father was like, you don't need to go to college, blah, blah, blah. He just wanted me to get working. And I remember my guidance counselor telling me about these schools and different things that I could go to. And I had no idea, I had no idea I could be anything else but a builder. And the only other thing, we're backtracking here, but the only other thing I was interested in was music. And I played trumpet in school,
Oh, that's cool. You started with the trumpet. Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that, Jim. I don't just.
That's okay. Yeah.
I
Do you have
don't
any weather coming through the area, or is it really hot? Hang on, we'll get that answer in a minute. Could be really, really hot where he is. You know, the humidity plays havoc on signals. Where we are right now, it's 75 degrees in the evening with a light coastal breeze. We're lucky here in the Northeast. We got the water and the water coming, the light coastal breeze coming off the ocean. It's nice. We're not right on the ocean, but we're it's walkable from where we are here. Yeah, his Wi-Fi seems to be acting up a little bit, which happens, right? It happens. So he'll bow out and then he'll come back in. Here's some cool shots we can show during the course. This is another album. This isn't the one we're talking about tonight, which is Strong. And I think he's going to play a little bit for us too when he comes back. But here is another album. All of his music sells very, very well. And you can hear it on all the platforms too, the Spotify, the Apple iTunes, and all the places where you get music. That's one. And again, it's really amazing, as he was saying, because he just got back from Romania and he literally tours the world. He literally tours the world, which is absolutely unbelievable. So, yeah, I think that's really, really cool. And it's great to hear his story. And once he gets his Wi-Fi all figured out, and we'll check that all out on his end. We're good on this end, but there's something happening on his end. He literally just got back in from Romania. So he's still sort of dusting himself off and getting things organized at the house. So maybe his computer system needed a reboot or something, but he is coming back and he has a frustrated look on his face.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on.
If we could only have heard what you
trouble with this.
If we can only have heard what you said when you weren't on.
It's about Wi-Fi.
We'll talk fast. No,
Yeah.
I was showing them some of the other photos and things of that nature and previous material, because all the music's on Spotify and iTunes and everywhere else. I think it's really, really cool. When did it start to happen where an international audience started to really pay attention to your material? When did that start happening?
I think that's only the last couple of years. I think we're really, I don't know. I've been to 17 countries. So, and that's over, 20 some years, 25 years almost doing this. So, every time you play,
yeah,
you don't know what it brings. And it could be 10 years after that something happens that they saw, you know what I mean? It's just, and music really comes down to a popularity contest. It has nothing to do with what you can do or what you play or anything.
Right.
But you're if you're on the Jim Masters show, all of a sudden you're really good.
That's what they've all said. That's
so
what they've all said.
I'm hoping that's the case.
And they want to be back.
But it's just you're just opening doors and the biggest thing I can get is exposure. So I'm very grateful that you're having me on. And so
you were mentioning your first instrument was the trumpet before you froze. You mentioned the trumpet, right?
I actually, I did the trumpet when I was like probably, I don't know. That was probably
12, 13,
6, 7 years old when I started.
6 or 7 years old, the trumpet. Wow.
Yeah.
Not exactly as easy as some others possibly. Wow.
Yeah. So I guess that's really when music came in, you know what I mean? But I wanted to do something, and they didn't have guitar or anything like that in school. You know what I mean? It's all based on orchestra and big band stuff, which, it's even tougher in today's kids' world that they're going to find interest in that because it's not relevant to them. So,
right.
But again, how do you teach structured music other than that? You know what I mean? It's like each kid, one kid's going to like this and one kid's going to like that. And then so they just go across the board and everybody learns when the Saints go marching in.
Right.
So, so yeah, trumpets early on, and I think I was saying that the only other thing I was ever interested in doing besides building, which is what my father told me I was going to be, he was a builder, and but the only other thing I was interested in was music. And they were like, well, if you're going to go to music school, you got to read music. And I've never read music on guitar, and I never want to learn it, and I never want to know anything about it.
You started by ear?
Yeah, everything with me is about me creating me. So I'm not a guy that sits down and tries to learn somebody's stuff, or you can go on YouTube now and it's great for the young kids. They can learn anybody's guitar style, anything, note for note, slowed down. You can sit there, kids with time, they can sit there and play that stuff and learn it. And it's all great. But they never focus on, well, I can't say they never do, but if you want, in my opinion, I wish they would focus on being themselves. My favorite quote is, be yourself because everybody else is taken.
That's so true. Exactly. Be yourself because everybody else is taken. So how do you describe your style and your sound, Albert? What's the Albert Cummings sound? Silence? Is that the sound? The sound of silence. I think that song has already been taken. It's a quiet whisper, his sound. Boy, this episode's really making me work hard, huh? He's in deep thought. He's really thinking about what that sound is, to be able to really capture and effectively share with us what that sound is. So he's thinking about it. He's in deep thought right now. He'll come back. This is really making me work hard today, huh? He will come back and see, this is what it's like on television and radio where I work professionally, where I have to sometimes I'm thrown out there and I have to just keep making the magic, especially when you're live, just keep the train on the track, keep things flowing while technology goes haywire or things happen behind the scenes or whatever goes on. There's been many times in my career on network and regional and local TV, on radio and everywhere else where things have happened, on location, in studios. We just got to keep it going. And so he'll be back. But yeah, the trumpet was first for him, which is kind of interesting. I asked him, and we'll come back with that when he tries to get back in there. I don't know if he's got some bad weather where he is, but I'll ask him again about what he feels, how he defines his sound. And hopefully we'll be able to get him in early to play something for us. If he continues to have, this kind of a technical issue, then we'll try to, we may shorten the episode if we have to, just because he's having some sort of technical issue there with his Wi-Fi. Everything is good here. All signals are powered here. But for him, I learned first music by ear first, playing our aunt and uncle's piano. They're up in Massachusetts, have a beautiful piano in their dining room. And when we would go up to Massachusetts to visit relatives, summer times, we'd go up to Connecticut, Massachusetts, throughout New England to visit my mother's side of the family because she hails from those areas. I would always run into that dining room and start playing and playing and playing. And I had a little cassette recorder with me and would record. And I still have those cassettes of me at age like 11, 12, 13, playing that beautiful piano by ear. And I think one of the first things that I played that lends itself well to piano is the theme to the TV series All in the Family. Da na 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 na, da na 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 na, da na da na 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 na, da na da da na. I played that first, not chopsticks. I played the All in the Family. The figures I would play something from television, right? And just started to play by ear first. And then, of course, you take the lessons and all. But for me, the very first instrument in school, as far as where there was lessons and training, was around, I say age, 8th grade. What is that, like 12, 13, somewhere around there, was the violin. Not an easy one. He took the trumpet at age 6, but the violin was a really tough one. You start and you're like, but it was a beautiful violin and a beautiful case the school supplied for the students, and really, really fantastic to learn on. So the violin was first as far as an actual instrument for me to learn. How about you guys? Is anybody, while we're waiting for Albert to sort of kick things into gear and come back, any instruments that you guys, our viewers, have played over the years that you play now, or maybe you played in school? Leave it in the comments and we'll take a look at some of those comments as well. If you want to comment while the show is on live, you can certainly do that by subscribing to the YouTube channel. You can comment in the comments section, and maybe we'll take a look at some of those as well. And some people ask about supporting the show. You can do super chat, super emoji, super stickers in chat. Don't forget to give this episode a like and comment and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. But yeah, you guys play any instruments? If you do, put them in the chat and let us know. And then, of course, guitar came after for me. So it was piano by ear first, and then violin, and then guitar. And then you guys know I love music and instruments. So we're going to get back to, he really needed time to think about this answer as far as what is the sound. How does he describe the Albert Cummings sound? He's back with his answer. And let's hear what that answer is. He took some time to think, and here it is. So what is it?
I'm so sorry.
At first I said the answer was
just hang up. Did everybody just like?
No, they're still there. They're commenting.
Well,
oh no, we have a very loyal, lovely audience. They're through thick and thin. And I was chatting with them. It was very interesting because the minute I asked that question, how do you describe your sound? The picture froze, and I said, okay, so obviously it's the sound of silence.
yeah, that's it.
How do you describe that sound?
I don't know. I only know me. That's it. I'm heavily influenced from, if I had to pick my top 3 influence, I'd say it's Stevie Ray. And, I'm not a Stevie Ray. You know what I mean? Stevie had his own thing and his own style and he was the most incredible guitar player ever in my mind. And I'm influenced massively by B.B. King, both musically and personally. And I'm also influenced by like Merle Haggard and like Hank Jr. and Waylon Jennings and things like that. So I guess if you threw a party and you invited those 3 and Muddy Waters, and if you invited those 4 guys over, you'd probably, and they all made a little art project or something, it'd come out as an Albert Cummings, maybe. I don't know. Those are big names to say that's what I am, but that's who influences me and
they inspired you.
I think that's where I come from. I'm a real, like, people always ask me like, what do you play for music? I'm like, well, it's like blues, rock, country. I don't know what to say. I don't have a genre where I go. And that, that doesn't go over with the true blues people, you know what I mean? Or the blues and country. Like I had this conversation with Vince Gill. He loved this analogy, but I'm like, blues and country is the same 3 chords, except one you're drinking beer and one you're drinking whiskey. But it's just it's all my influences that comes out through me. So my albums tend to have a pretty good range on them. At least I think so, compared to what I hear from albums coming out. You know what I mean? It's not a bunch of 1, 4, 5 blues tunes, shuffles or something. It's like it's got different things in there that come out that are different.
So it's a unique sound, right? It's unique,
I guess.
which is great.
That's what I want to be. I want to be something I don't want to be any one of those guys.
You're not a cover band, right? Yeah.
And I don't have anything against the guys that are, or girls that are in cover bands, you know what I mean? Because that's an extreme talent to be able to do that stuff. I can't do that. I'm not a guy that can like join a cover band and learn note for note these solos and these things. And I know guys that can dial in pedals and, you know, use the right guitar and sound just like that band. I can't do that stuff. You know, I tell people I'm pretty good at being me.
I gotta be me, like
all I
Sammy
got.
Davis Jr. said, right?
Yeah, and I'm like, that's my strength, I guess. I look at it as a strength. I don't know, some people
It
look at it as
is.
a weakness, but I just want to be me. I don't want to be anybody else. I'm not trying to be anybody else. I don't want to be anybody else.
I don't want to be anybody else. You're not going to change me, which is a great way to be. Again, it's coming that way. It's coming really from your heart and soul. How many people are with you when you're on stage or in the studio?
Well, stage, I'm you know, it's just a 4-piece band. You know, it's just us. And in the studio, it's usually 4 or 5 pieces that we go in and do, and maybe bring in some horns or things. You know, there's a few of my albums got, you know, different sounds on them and different things. Maybe another guitar player, and, you know, like Strong is another guitar player, and just bass, keys, and drums, and me, and some background singing on there too. So
how do you manage the music with the custom home building? Do you have a crew that is out there doing things when you do have to go to Romania and other places?
Yeah.
You have a whole crew that's out there doing it.
Yeah. And because I've been so fortunate, like, you know, we built some big houses. I mean, I built all kinds of things from, you know, I built like college dorm once, you know what I mean? I built like restaurant type things. I built, you know, light commercial projects that are unique, where they want something with, I don't know, I guess maybe pardon the expression, but with some finesse, you know what I mean? With some craftsmanship and some things behind
Panache
it.
And high quality.
It's high quality stuff. And that's where it come from. And that's where I live. You know what I mean? That's where I live, in that world. And I don't get hired for the easy jobs. You know what I mean? I get hired for jobs that are like pretty difficult projects, that are like demanding, and architects come to me because they want that.
Yes.
They want to shine and create these designs that are pretty hard to do. I mean, you know, that sounds kind of cocky to say, but it's true.
What's a project that you worked on that either is one of your personal favorites that you're most proud of, or that is just something really, really cool that comes to mind for you?
Well, so here we go with a comparison of building and music, because I always say every house is my best house. And the reason for that is everything that I've learned, you know, up to that point of building that house is in that new house, right? And it's the same with albums, because I can listen back on my albums to my first album. I listen back and I'm like, wow, I didn't know anything what I know now. You know what I mean? I would do that album completely different now. But it's fun because it's a recording of where I was at that spot in time. And if I'm not experiencing the ability to say, I think I'm better than that first album now, I think I'm better than that, then I'm not growing, right? So I want the same in building and music. I want to get better, and I want to learn more, and I want to, you know, I just want to be the best that I can be. I want to be the best Albert there is, and that's only me. So I'm the only competition I'm in, both musically and construction, is the guy I was yesterday. That's how I see it. You know.
Do you play multiple instruments in addition to guitar?
No, I just pretty much play guitar now. I don't.
The focus is the guitar.
Yeah, I mean, I if I ever had like another instrument to pick up, I'd probably mess around with piano. I really like piano.
Mm-hmm.
And organ. I mean, I'm more of an organ freak now. You know,
I forgot about that. Yes, I was probably around 12, 13. I was talking about, you know, instruments and things we had when we were kids and teenagers. And first for me was playing my aunt and uncle's piano, and then tried violin in school, which was really interesting, and then guitar after that. But I had an organ. I remember in my bedroom, I had an organ, and it
Yeah.
was a Christmas gift, and it was Magnus was the name of the company. I remember it. It was a beige color, and
Nice.
it had a little synthesizer to it, so you can have different. It was cool. I was probably 12 or 13, and I think that might have sparked some interest musically as well,
I feel like I'm interviewing you now. I'm like drawing things out of you. This is good.
Yeah,
It's good therapy
it
for you.
was.
Talk about
Yeah,
this stuff.
I was going to say the organ was really a central thing, and we did plays in the bedroom and the garage and all that fun stuff, and that organ was always a part of it.
Best thing for kids, I mean, people got young kids, get them some kind of instrument, let them explore and let them like open up that side of the brain. It's really, it's an amazing, I think it's just a brain builder, because it really challenges somebody, to figure out what people have done, you know what I mean? And try to take it to a different place. That's like, it's just a wonderful, so wonderful hobby. I mean, that's what I love about music and I think that's what, I hope that's what resonates with people. And I really think it does, is that I love that so much that people pick up on that and they experience that with me. You know what I mean? I go somewhere, you look at those pictures, I'm not faking these faces. This just happens to me. When I walk on that stage, my wife thinks I have multiple personalities, which probably every wife thinks that of her husband, but literally, like the Albert off the stage you're talking to kind of him. But when I get that guitar in my hand and walk in front of these people, I kind of check out and I let that guitar and I let this thing take over, and I don't worry about it. I don't think about it. I just let it go. And every show is different. I can play the same songs over and over and over, and I guarantee it's a completely different show,
Absolutely.
And I try to mix it up all the time anyways, but it doesn't matter. It's like, and I remember having that conversation with Tommy Shannon when I did the album with Double Trouble. Tommy Shannon and I became really, really good friends. And I said, I used to hear all these bootlegs. I'd listen to Stevie Ray bootlegs, and it'd be like the same songs. You know what I mean? He was playing, bands go out and play the same set for years. You know what I mean? Or when they're touring an album, they're playing that songs in those albums, and people record them on their phones nowadays and put them out there, and somebody might see the titles thinking, oh, well, he played that song. And I've had people come to me and say, you played this song, Albert, but you didn't play it like it's on the album. I'm like, no, because I wouldn't. I never would. That's just not. I just played how I was feeling that night about that song. So. Mm-hmm. And I asked him. I remember asking Tommy, "Well, did it ever get boring with Steve?" He's like, "Never, because it was different every night." And that's where the coolness comes, when you're like not trying to do something. You know what I mean? I think.
Right. We don't overthink it.
One of the most boring things in the world is when you go, for me anyways, go see a band and you watch the rehearsed hits and the reversed this and the rehearsed that. And it's like, all right, did I leave the coffee on?
I got to feel natural.
Yeah. And especially if you even step foot in the blues world, you better be playing your feelings if you want to, well, this is my opinion. Somebody might argue with me, but go ahead. I'm living it and I'm doing it. But you've got to, blues to me is an expression of your feelings, right? So I can get as happy as it possibly can be with it. I can get sad. I've cried playing my guitar before. I can get mad where I'm like just irritate. I mean, it depends on where my mind is going. When my wife calls this other guy OG, by the way, which is this other guy. And when OG's playing, Albert's kind of like up there going, well, I'm bored. I'll just think about this or that. And literally that's what happens. I remember waking up on stage once and not knowing where I was. And that is an incredible feeling, to be that involved in what you're creating and playing, that you have you're on a different conscious level. It's like there's nothing that can challenge that.
What
And that's
happens? So you're transported to another place when you're really in the zone?
yeah, I think so. I think
Yeah.
I just check out, and I've literally become unconscious to what's happening. And I don't think I could do that if I was trying to perform something. You know what I mean? To me, there's two types of musicians, and I think there's creators who create the music and create something that's never existed, and then there's performers, and the performers perform what the creators created, and the percentage of creators is like 1%. It's like that. It's most of the world of music that I see is performers, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's a great thing. There's a need for everything, but I just want to be a creator. I want to just try to create something I don't want to sound like anybody. I don't want to steal from anybody. I remember BB King told me one night backstage, we don't steal licks, we just borrow them.
Kind of like Milton Berle with his jokes.
I remember Milton Berle. Yeah.
Same thing. Same concept.
Yeah.
What about the songwriting for you? Where does that come in? And is that something that you love doing as well?
I really love it because I get to like, it's almost therapeutic for me because my songs are only about real life experiences. You know what I mean? Sometimes I disguise a name or something. You know what I mean? Sometimes, but I've written songs about people like, an hour after I met them. You know what I mean? Like, I just like somebody like says something or does something or it could be good or it could be bad. And I just like, I kind of write that down. It's like notes, but to me, I write it out in song form. And that's as simple as it comes. And I don't know when that comes. It's not something I can say, hey, give me a few minutes here, Jim. I'll write you a song. I mean, it doesn't happen like that for me.
You take time, right?
It just comes out of me, and I don't know where it comes from. It's just like all of a sudden. I mean, I've written a lot of songs on planes when I'm bored, and I'm thinking about things. And my little trick, if there's any songwriters out there, I like keep my phone with me all the time. And for years, I never did this, but like if I get a guitar out, I always have the phone by because usually if I like grab a guitar or something will come out of me, and it might be a lick or a rhythm or something that I've never played before. That's what's really cool about it. It's like some device of communicating to this other world with me. I know I'm sounding crazy, but I am. And so I like if I play something, it's like I think it's kind of cool. I'll grab that phone. I'll just record that, and just record the riff or the lick.
A lot of people rhythm. Tell me they do that, right?
And then when I get an idea for a song, and my ideas come from usually life experiences or mostly people, right? Because it's a phrase somebody says or the way they said it or an expression they gave me or something that's like makes me look at it, pay attention. I'm like, that's an interesting thought. And then I'll be like, well, let me go through my little bag of tricks. And I go down through my recordings. I'm like, and I try to figure out what the mood of the song is, right? Because you can't play a happy song over a sad lyric.
Right.
And you can't do the opposite. You got to find the mood. It's like an actor. A good actor will make you believe that that's that person, no matter how many roles you've seen them in. They study that part, right? They study what they're doing, and they like, you could say, oh, well, that's, nobody sees Tom Hanks as the original. Remember the TV show? What was the TV show he was on? I don't even remember what that was.
Oh, the very first, I believe, was Bosom Buddies.
Yeah, Bosom Buddies, right? Like nobody said, oh, Tom Hanks, I can't get into him. He's like Bosom Buddies. Like somebody like, I don't know. You could probably name somebody that, I don't think Gomer Pyle ever played any movie parts without ever being Gomer Pyle. You know what I mean?
Or Bob Denver as Gilligan. Yep.
Right. Gilligan. Yeah. He suffered his whole career because he was Gilligan. So whatever. Poor Gilligan. But anyway, so you figure out the mood of the song, and then I go find if I've got anything in my little list of recordings, and I was like, hey, that kind of fits that mood, and then I just start working on it. And usually once I can figure out the music, I don't worry about writing the whole song until I know what I've got to do for syllables and how I've got to fit things. Then I determine how to write, like figure out how to say a phrase, and okay, I got, let's count this. I gotta have a 3-syllable word here, or I gotta have 3 different words. You know what I mean? So you figure out how to phrase this phrase to fit the form. And I don't know if that's correct or right. And I haven't written any hit songs, so don't take my advice too great, but that's how I do it, and it seems to work for me, and the crowds that come see me, they kind of like it, so.
Absolutely right. It's fresh.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, a couple of people are asking if you wanted to play a little something for us so they can hear that sound we're talking about.
Well, I do. I have my little guitar here per your suggestion.
Just happens to have a guitar there. He does not travel or enter any room without a guitar there set up for him.
Yes, I
Tell us about that. Show us that beautiful guitar, that gorgeous guitar.
Well, this is just here, let me see if I can.
Well, you can see the guitar, and you see him. Oh, there he is.
Well, this is just a Taylor. It's I only. And
I wonder if something loosened when he reached towards the camera. You notice that's when it started getting a little frozen. So I wonder if when he reached to adjust the camera so you could see more of the guitar, a wire came loose or something. He's adoring the guitar, the Taylor guitar, beautiful guitar. He's going to play for us, but I think he's going to wind up disappearing first, and then he'll come. Yeah, he's going to disappear first, and I'll be back, in the words of Schwarzenegger. He shall be back. Beautiful Taylor guitar. I think when he reached, did you notice when he reached a little bit towards the camera to adjust his camera angle so you can see more of the guitar? That's when it got a little loose there. So maybe when he comes back, we'll let him know about that, and then he can make an adjustment. But yeah, great story he shared about the songwriting. I want to show you again, for those of you just tuning in, our very special guest is award-winning blues musician and virtuoso guitarist, singer, and songwriter extraordinaire. He's been doing it for quite some time. This is his newest album, Albert Cummings Strong. It is out now. It is #1 on the Blues Billboard Chart. Right there. That is #1 on Billboard, which is really, really cool. So that's the album. And he is back, and I think he's already playing. There he is.
Yeah, how'd you like the song?
That was absolutely amazing. It went so fast. I don't even remember it. So you got a Taylor guitar.
Yeah, I got a Taylor guitar. Well, what do you want to hear? I mean, I don't have anything planned for you, so you tell me. Anybody got any requests? All right.
I was going to say anybody's birthday. What comes to mind? Share something of yours, maybe.
I don't know. I don't have my voice warmed up. I don't have all that stuff. So I don't know if I'm going to blow your vocals, your levels out of there.
So far, no, the guitar sounds good.
I don't know. Maybe Emmy Lou off the new album. It's the lead song, and it's been getting a lot of attention. So
absolutely.
So Emmy Lou is a perfect example of well, you know, the song, if you listen to the song, it tells the story, but it's just about people, you know, and that's kind of the world that I live in. And I think I have a great connection with fans because I'm just like a normal person out there in the world. You know what I mean? I'm a working guy that deals with people all the time. You know what I mean?
Those
And
houses
that's what I
and
write
restaurants
about. So
and dorms
people,
and yeah.
people relate, but Emmylou's just about a, you know, this is a waitress in a diner. You know what I mean? So this is about as, you know, just as about as real, you know, anywhere in the world that can work. So
it's good, my friend.
Is the guitar too loud?
No, it's perfect.
I hope I can sing. I am a Lou. She works in a diner. She'll serve you breakfast and she got a wiggle when she wants to buy you. Her daddy awesome restaurants. She got a way of getting your attention. Folks that drive a country mile just to get a little taste of her affection. Captivate you with a wicked style. You can feel it if you try to hold her. If you go, she's gonna tear you apart. I said, oh. All right.
What you talking about? That was awesome. The voice was great. I tell you, that was awesome. How do you feel? You had a good time, right? You feel, yeah.
Yeah. I love having a guitar in my hand, believe me. And I gotta do some adjustments on this guitar because I could park a truck under these strings. Yeah.
Even that sounds nice, my friend. I tell you. Tell us about the album and congratulations on it. Billboard #1 in the blues category. Congratulations on that.
Well, thanks, man. It's I'm really happy with that album, and I named it Strong because I always try to name all my records after a word or a phrase in the record. And I kind of like I don't know if I did that on the last one though, but I usually try to do that. I'm trying to think if there's something about and on there. But I did this in Nashville. I don't know if you know a guy named Tom Hambridge.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Tom produced this, and we did it in Nashville at Ocean Way Studios, which is just an unbelievable experience to be in Ocean Way. You know,
and he's worked with a lot of major people, huh?
Yeah. Tom's great. You know, he's the drummer on the album, and you know, he's like one of these talented guys that can like draw things out of you that you didn't know. And you know, this was a whole different experience for me because he's like, yeah, we're gonna do this record in 4 days, and I'm like, yeah, okay,
like 4 days,
4 days, man. No way. But he brought in an A team, you know. He brought in these these unbelievable guys that came in the studio, and 3 days we cut the record. And I used half the fourth day to like do some vocals and things like that I wasn't really happy with, you know what I mean? It's the beauty of the studio versus the stage.
Yeah.
You know, I go for it on stage, and sometimes I just mess up, but you know, I've learned that the secret to messing up is to repeat it, so people think you did it intentionally.
Exactly. His 4 days would be like a modular home to your custom built home. That sounds good.
Yeah, so you don't touch a guitar for a while, it like lets you know, because it goes out of tone when you start banging on it. And the strings are probably, you know, probably one of the first original sets of strings that were ever invented on this thing. It's so old. So
did you learn on steel strings, or was it like a classical?
Yeah, I learned probably on acoustic, and
acoustic,
I do most of the writing probably happens on this guitar. You know, I keep one guitar out because I found, you know, when I was a kid, I told you my father always had a guitar hanging around, but there was always one out on a couch somewhere, and my father never really played it. And I don't know if he just left it out for me to get interested in it or what he did, but you know, if the thing's in a closet and it's packed behind this and that, and you got 5 minutes, you don't tend to go get it out of the closet, you know. But if it's just there where you can grab it, you'll pick it up. And 5 minutes a day is better than no minutes a day, you know what I mean? So, and I'm not a guy that sits around and practices. You know, some guys will practice for 2 or 3 hours a day, and great for them. But I'm too busy building somebody's house or something.
Right.
So, you know, I like when I go on tour, because about day 3 or 4, I start to get really, you know, I get the rust off of it. And, you know, it's not to say it doesn't happen right away, because it's all about whatever, you know, comes out of my head. And sometimes my first gig out is the most incredible gig ever, because I'm just releasing all this energy that's, you know, like putting it out there. So, but
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great, the album, I tell you, and it's so well received. What could people expect when they hear this album, or is it something for everybody?
Well, it kind of is something for everybody. That sounds so cliche, but I mean, there's all kinds of stuff on there. There's blues, there's rock, there's country, there's a ballad I wrote about my sister, you know, my sister's guitar, which is a really sad song, and it's just, you wouldn't find that on a blues record, you know what I mean? So it's hard for me, because
sort of dedicated to her.
Yeah, I was definitely dedicated. My sister was she died of lung cancer, like, it's probably 4 years ago. I don't even know. She's still kind of with me, so I don't even.
Of course, forever. Yeah.
But it was
what's the name of the song?
It's called My Sister's Guitar. And it was a song that really was about an experience that I had, which she lived in Texas, and I went to Texas. My brother-in-law called and said, yeah, I think you should get down here. And I got down there and got to see her the night before she, you know, basically the day of the night she died. And I was staying at their house, and I went back to their house, and the next morning we're out having coffee or whatever. And he comes walking out of the house with a guitar case. And I was like, what's this? You know, I didn't even know, but my sister had bought a guitar, and she was trying to learn something on guitar just to pass the time. You know, she knew she was dying. And he puts the guitar down in front of me. He says, this is yours. I said, what do you mean? He's like, well, she wanted you to have this guitar. So, you know, I got back home and I wrote a song called My Sister's Guitar, and that's where it came from. And I have that guitar, and it's like, you know, it's just one of those things, you know. It's just, but that's what I do on my records. I just kind of play what I'm living, what I'm experiencing, and how I'm dealing with things, and it's therapeutic to write it. And I get a lot of people that, will write to me or whatever that are relating to these things.
Isn't that the icing on the cake when you do what you love, no matter what it is, when you do what you love and it impacts, inspires, maybe lifts
it's
up
really cool.
people,
It
and
really
you don't
is
realize
cool.
how many people you reach until these
You don't.
notifications come in through email or
Yeah.
snail mail or whatever it is, or you meet somebody
And
in person.
probably 98%, 99.9% don't ever write it to you. You know what I mean? They're just experiencing that and they're using it. And people come to shows and they'll come up to me and like, I don't know how many times I've sat hugging someone, crying with them because they'll tell me a story. I get emotional about it because
They'll open up.
tell me a story about how they listen to this song every day or whatever, and it keeps them going. It's like, wow, maybe this is this is way bigger than me. You know what I mean? This is something that I share with people. I just write about it. I just write about things that are going on. It's common, I have a friend that's like, it's because you're the common man, Albert. You're the common man. You know what I mean? I'm not. I don't. I just write about life. It's just
You relate to everybody, right?
and I love that people relate to it, and that's why I have such a bond with the audience. I think you know what I mean because we're all. I think when that energy goes out, I try to give 110% of whatever I'm doing, no matter what song it is. You know what I mean? It's again back to that. You don't play a sad song over a happy song. I'm not gonna play a guitar solo over that. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna trick people. I'm expressing emotion, and that's what's so fun about this music. It's like is that sharing of it with people, and it's kind of a different way of thinking. I mean, I know a lot of guys that go out and be like, "Here's what I'm doing, and you got to pay attention to me," and it's like, no. I'm looking at that in a whole different way. Like, here's what I'm doing, and I hope you'll relate to this. You know what I mean? Maybe you don't like it. I don't know, but here's what I'm feeling, and this is what I'm saying. And
What's great about that, Albert, is it's a breath of fresh air. It's refreshing because a lot of times, like you said, it's all about the person. It's all about the branding. It's all about the image. It's all about just that one sound, and they can't deviate from the sound. And you have to just like what they're putting out, where you are doing what's coming from really inside your heart and soul, and you're sharing it with people in a very, it's an authentic, real, straightforward way. It doesn't have all the window dressing and all that bells and whistles and stuff like that. It's pure. And I think that is refreshing because everything is so overdone and over processed and overstimulated and over recorded and overthought these days, to have things that are fresh and original. And
it's so rare. It's
right.
So rare. Everybody's trying to be somebody else.
And right. And here you are doing your thing.
Yeah. And, I guess that maybe that works better when you pretend to be somebody else because you're, my whole thing has been so grassroots. It's really, I'm just cutting my own path, and when you're cutting your own path, there's nobody in front of you to look at, to model it after. You know what I mean? You're out in front of your own path. You're cutting through the weeds. You know what I mean?
You're chasing your dream, not theirs. Right.
Right. But I'm really, it sounds corny or cliche or whatever, but I really love the fact to be able to share with people,
Mm-hmm.
I wrote a song, when my dad died, I was with him when he died. And I kissed him on the forehead.
Kissed him on the forehead. Really sharing some beautiful stories with us, huh, gang? Froze up a little bit there. His Wi-Fi on his end, but he'll be back. But a beautiful song. in honor of his sister, huh? That's a very touching story. And now he's talking about his dad, and he was there when his dad passed. And a lot of times that's how music is made, through living of life. That's how a lot of art is made, through the living of life and the experiences that we all have. He'll be back in just a second. Great song that he played live for us, coming from that new album. And now he's really sharing and opening up, which happens a lot on the Jim Master Show Live series. Our guests feel so comfortable and at ease, because we don't treat these as a typical interview with pre-prepared questions that are just being read. You could tell some people, they just are reading everything. Nothing is really free-flowing and direct from as it's happening. A lot of times people ask me, how do you formulate questions? How do you know how to have conversations? Because I listen deeply to what the person's saying, and then I'll be on the spot formulating what my next question would be, or what the interaction would be, just because I'm listening, not because I have a list of things that I have to get to. And that's this kind of conversation we're having right now, that is making him comfortable enough to emote and share. This really does sound like a powerful album, doesn't it, gang? Albert Cummings, Strong. It's, of course, available at all the places, Spotify, iTunes, and everywhere where you can get your music. You can download and stream and support this artist, and who tours the world. And again, his website, of course, is albertcummings.com. And while we're at it, you can also follow us. He'll be back in just a second. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and X at Jim Masters TV. That's right. Come follow us on social media. If you're enjoying this episode, while we wait for Albert to kick his computer, give this episode a thumbs up like. There's a like icon there on the YouTube channel. Give it a like and leave a comment for us. And if you're watching and haven't subscribed to a YouTube channel, we would love it if you subscribe. Doesn't cost anything. And and we're also doing some new things. Stay tuned for that. We'll have some information about memberships too, where there's going to be some bonus content, some exclusive content that's going to be available for our JMS exclusive Lovity members. We're working on building that right now, which is going to be something very special and very cool. So look for that. It's going to be an exclusive here at JMS. But and subscribe to the YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, and share the links, spread the word, all the rest. But truly a great conversation with a great guy who obviously, as he said, and as you can tell, he has no airs about him. He's a straight shooter, straight from the heart. And, he loves what he does, and he's pumping out all that music, and really, really cool stuff. I'm going to take a look at a couple of comments here. I wanted to see what people were saying when we asked earlier. Maureen in Arizona says, I started taking piano lessons when I was in the 4th grade. My son started when he was 6, and he still plays beautifully. That's fantastic. Sherry Larson, one of our lovities, as well, longtime lovity. Clarinet and guitar. It's been a few decades. Kathleen in New York City says, I wish I could play an instrument. Try the guitar once. Fingers not strong enough because of the arthritis. Love all instruments, though. And that's fantastic. And I think there was a few more. I think, did Merlin say that she didn't? I think she said no instruments for her. Like I was saying, for me earlier, it was piano, violin, and guitar. I've always loved percussion, too. I love the drums. I love percussion. Well, I love them all. I love flute. The cello we've talked about here on the show as well. I think his Wi-Fi must really have been giving him a heck of a problem. His name is Albert Cummings, folks. He's been doing this for a long time, and here he is back with us.
I'm so
on
sorry.
The show. That's okay.
Man, that's frustrating. That's like having an ant go out.
Did the beer glass run? Did the beer glass run empty?
Yeah. I drank my polar water. Here's what
You got the polar water. That's it. Did you eat well in Romania?
Yeah. Romania is not known for its gourmet food.
No.
But we had some good food over there for sure. You know,
Yeah, that's
it's
it.
different,
I tell
and you got to eat what they eat, and
you, you got to eat what they eat.
not,
Exactly.
I'm like.
For those just joining us, he just returned from, I think it was not only Romania, but then you say Ireland as well, and then somewhere else, touring the world. Oh, look at the crowds. I mean, he and the band really pack it in with these. And if you go to an Albert Cummings concert and look, go online to his website. If you go online and check out his tour dates and things of that nature, and of course about previous albums, other music that he's done, you will find that if you go to one of his shows, you're going to feel good, and they pack it in. One more time here, his album that's out now, this is literally off the presses. This is fresh, brand new exclusive news. Albert Cummings Strong is number one on the Blues Billboard Chart. Number one album on the Blues Billboard Chart. So even though he's very humble, about himself, he's very humble about his ways. He's incredibly talented and quite popular and has a terrific following. He's got a sizable following, actually, because he loves doing it. I just find it amazing how he's able to do this and combine it with home building, which he's been doing for years as a custom home builder. That is amazing, right? How he's able to do both. I find that just amazing. Yeah, great comments coming in from everybody, and a fantastic guest to have on. I am glad that he played live for us as well. Jane in Sweden says she played piano as a child, but she doesn't understand the notes. Also a guitar and flute. She thinks she'll stick with singing. Oh, I forgot about that too. Your voice is your instrument as well, and singing is something. I studied singing in sixth grade, started in sixth grade. And that's when my music teacher, Mrs. Sebastian, she said, James, you are an alto. Your voice is an alto. So that's when I learned what alto meant when I was in sixth grade. And Mrs. Sebastian, because we used to do, plays and concerts in elementary school and junior high school and high school, but especially those fun plays in elementary school when you're first starting out. The altos would be here and the sopranos would be there. And it was kind of cool. And how you all learn about all of it, right? All right. Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a cool.
I'm trying to get closer to the connection or something. I don't know. We
the modem. Yeah. It looks like you're on a big cruise ship.
Yeah, that's what I am.
That's what it is. That's why the signal goes out. So what are some things that you're excited about that are coming up that you're working on, Albert?
Well, I every step might be a baby step for me, but every step is just bringing me closer and closer to it's just, our numbers are going up. Our listeners are going up. Our Spotify's going up. Everything just keeps growing. And, I just got into with a new agent, which is really big. And as far as where I want to go and what I want to do, you know what I mean? I'm kind of learning. I got to get people around me that they might not have my vision, because I'm pretty nuts about goals and how I want to do it. I think it comes from being in business so long, you know what I mean? And what's cool about the music business is hey, I didn't go all the way out that time.
Just a little bit. When you said what's cool about the business is, and then there was no answer after that. And there might not be one now. this is a test just to see if I'm a real professional. When I mentioned how on television and radio, these things happen and you have to think quick. I think this is a test to see if I really am up to muster. And I think I am, because this happens often on television and radio, or on stage, or when I'm master of ceremonies for events, or whatever, where, you just, this kind of cool. He's going in and out, in and out. It is like he's on a cruise ship, right? You know what I mean? And maybe the ship is going like this. He's not. He's back here in the States. He's on dry land, having returned from Romania. And cool stuff. That was I like that background better, didn't you? That with the blue, with the curtains, it was just a really cool angle. Yeah.
So sorry, man.
I think
I have
actually,
Wi-Fi.
the name of the next song that you write should be "I'm So Sorry, Man." I think there's a theme here. Write that down, Albert.
That could
I'm
be
so
it.
sorry,
That
man.
could be my hit, man.
We were friends for years, but then you stole my wife. I'm no longer friends. I'm so sorry, man.
Yeah.
That's it. You stole my dog. You stole my wife. You drank my whiskey. And you even gave my pickup truck a flat tire. I'm so sorry, man. I'm not going bowling with you tonight. Did you freeze again? Is this Walt Disney's Frozen? Are we in Frozen, maybe? He should do music from Frozen. Anyway, he's got a good smile there. Want to see it up? It's a good smile, right? Anyway, when he comes back, we'll probably wrap up. It's been a really good conversation. It's been in and out, but we've been making it happen. We're professionals. He and I. We've been making it. He's been trying. It's just his Wi-Fi, maybe the weather where he is. Could be really hot where he is too. And the excessive heat plays with internet connection. So now there he is there, and there's his twin brother and the upper right. But you ended with a good smile, which was good.
Well,
so you're on the phone now.
Now I'm on total cellular and not the Wi-Fi, so maybe that'll just.
Isn't it amazing? You got to go back to basics like the phone. I tell you, it was. There you go.
Yeah, now it's almost the same.
I think he is on a cruise ship, folks. Where are you based? Where are you right now?
I'm in a little town called Williamstown, Massachusetts, which is in the upper left-hand corner of Massachusetts. Borders.
Oh, you're in the Berkshires. The Berkshires,
the Berkshires.
Yeah,
that's right.
The Berkshires. Yeah. So you're how far from like Pittsfield and?
Like 25 minutes from Pittsfield.
Yeah, Lee and Lenox, and we always take a drive up there, especially in the fall, because it's a great place to be. You ever, since you're in that area, you probably get a lot of stuff out of Albany, right? TV stations, radio stations out of Albany.
Pretty much everything comes out of Albany.
Is Albany,
and
New York.
That's where I started my whole music adventure. Really, was Albany.
Was Albany?
Yeah, I mean, Williamstown's not much for music, It's like.
Did you think you thought you lost me?
Well, I'm staying on, and you go out.
I'm beginning
to think this is you.
No, it's not.
You're so confident, huh?
Yeah. I would imagine you've probably gone to Tanglewood, right? Because you're not too far from. Isn't that cool?
About an hour.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. So you do a lot of. You were starting to tell us a little bit about some of the things that you have coming up that you're looking forward to.
Yeah. So everything keeps growing, and my agent just told us the other day that he's getting explosive interest from me, which is kind of a cool term to hear. So that's really good. And, I'm taking the summer pretty light, but I think I'm going to get pretty busy. After the first of the year, I'd say is when I'm going to see it. I mean, we're going to UK in October. We're going all the way down the East Coast in November.
Oh,
and,
nice. All the way down to Florida.
I'm still experimenting. I'm like, I think I might have found my final band. I'm starting to put together different guys, and I'm the more I do it, the more I'm learning about different players and their approaches, and I'm, you know, I just,
Are the
you know,
current guys aware of that, or?
I'll just leave that
In
alone and
case
just keep them
they're
guessing.
watching the Jim Master show.
Yeah, you never know.
I think I found my final band. I got some new guys I'm thinking about. Morty and
Obviously,
Marty.
it's always evolving, you know what I mean? But yeah,
It's always growing. That's it.
I don't know, just coming with a whole new comfort for it. So it's like I'm starting to just settle into it, you know what I mean? I'm not on the road all the time. I'm not playing all the time. I'm not practicing all the time. I'm doing this when I can, and I do it. And I enjoy every minute of it, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing, and I'm loving it. You know, I'm just loving it. And
Which is cool.
I'm on the Jim Master show, man. I mean, what else? I mean, I guess I probably don't even need to do it anymore. I'm just kind of made it.
You've hit it big now. You've hit it.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I say that, I say it all the time to guests, you know, when there are Grammys and there are Academy Awards, there's Oscars, there's Peabodys, there's Tellys, there's all these incredible awards that you can get in these various industries based on your talent, and the Golden Globes, all of it. But when you get designated by the viewers a Jim Masters show lovity, you have made it, my friend.
Yeah, and even though everybody's hung up now because they're all like, man, this Wi-Fi connection is really irritating. So
no, they're all there. They're all there. They're commenting, and they're saying hello, and they're they're all there. They're commenting.
All three people?
Yeah, they're all there. And they're not all just your relatives.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, they're all there commenting and welcoming, and they love the music, which I think is really, really fantastic. Like Merlin says, welcome. You know, she's in Canada and Ontario. She welcomes you as well. And Jane's in Sweden welcoming you. And
nice.
Yeah. The audience literally comes. Everybody. Yeah.
It's really cool. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I might not meet these people, or maybe I will someday, but.
Maureen says hello to you as well.
Maureen.
Welcome to Love All. And
nice.
Yeah. Well, that's what we do. I don't do this as interviews. I do it as a conversation, kind of like, you know, Carson and Dick Cavett and whatever. So it's comfortable. And welcome back from the Wi-Fi, which is great. And yeah, this is cool. All these comments coming in here. And
nice.
Yeah, this is nice. Thanks, guys. You guys are the best. Appreciate it. Austin Field, another excellent show. Please subscribe for great content. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And so you got some good things that are happening, and that's great. And you've balanced it all out with the custom home building. Is that in the Western Massachusetts area, or do you go all over New England?
I've gone like an hour and 15 minutes away from Williamstown to build things, but you know, most of it's lately has been pretty close to home.
Yeah.
Why
do you love what you do so much? You've been able to master both the home building and custom building and then the music.
I don't think there's such a term as a master. You know, I think you just keep learning. If you think you're a master and you know it all, then you won't keep learning. You know what I mean? So, I heard a great phrase, by a guy named Bob Proctor. I don't know if you ever heard of Bob Proctor, but Bob Proctor's kind of a motivational speaker. I love that guy. He's passed away now, but he said, confidence. He says, if you have too much of it, you don't think you need to learn. And if you don't have enough of it, you don't think you can learn. So you got to find the balance in there. And, my father's old joke was, I'm not conceited because that's an imperfection and I'm perfect.
I tell you, the fathers with the great, sage advice like that, right?
Right. Yeah.
My father has always said, and I mentioned it on this show too, that same kind of humor, told me when I was 7 or 8 years old. And of course, I'm the fifth James. So, they still say Jimmy, the cousins say Jimmy. And
right.
But he said when I was 7, Jimmy, always remember this. Whenever anybody says something kind or nice to you, always be sure and thank them for those kind words. Then ask them to take those words and please put them in writing and address it management.
Yeah.
And that and that holds true today, I tell you. So you're loving the ride. It's really something people are, and a lot of new people getting a chance to discover you here on our series. There's the website, gang, and new music is out as well. Again, you can get it Spotify, iTunes, every place music is available. Download. You can also go to his website to learn more, keep abreast of all the cool things he's doing. And Albert, this was really great. A great conversation here on the show. Would you believe we've done almost an hour and 30 minutes just letting it roll?
Well, as far as airtime, we've only been on for like 10 minutes.
Oh, well, I still sang for myself, but when you were off, I was still doing my thing. I was vamping, I was stretching, I was filling in.
I was taking a nap, I was relaxing,
refilling the glasses. I was working hard.
Hey.
Really a pleasure meeting you, Albert. And we're not keep me posted like when you're around, when you're touring, because we're both here in the Northeast area. So maybe we'll be able to come see you perform, you and the gang in the New York, New England area. That would be really cool. So
well, I'd love
definitely
it. I thank you so much for having me on. I'm curious to know how you found out about me. So that's what's happening. Is it's kind of this grassroots little thing that's moving.
That's what it is.
And I always ask people, I always ask them, please tell a friend about me. That's how it goes. It's not it's not major media coverage for people that are out there doing their thing and bringing something different to the world, So I appreciate it all. I appreciate everybody that tuned in, and I'm sorry about the Wi-Fi. The cellular seems to be better. I think it's definitely
cellular seems with the Wi-Fi maybe. It was fine. I was chatting with the audience anyway, and we were having some fun behind the scenes. So everything works out. Everything works out for a reason. And of course, you're on all the social media as well, so people can check it out. On Instagram and X and Facebook and all. And good words coming in here. Kathleen in New York City says, thank you for being here, Albert. That was fun. Thanks for playing for us. It was awesome. Good luck and all you do. And Maureen here in Arizona, or there in Arizona, we're East Coast. She's in like 110-degree heat in Arizona. You are fabulous, Albert. Thank you for being Jim's special guest this evening. Please come back soon and bring your guitar. Yes. Well, just so you know, folks, he's a trooper. There wasn't a plan necessarily for him to play, like that word didn't get to him, but he grabbed the guitar and he played for us, which I think something from the new album, which I think we really appreciate, and is a real trooper. As I say, my friend, we're going to keep the porch light on for you. You are welcome back anytime. Come see us again. This will be archived on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. So you can share the link on your social media from the YouTube channel. Let folks know you were here so your fans can see it and watch it and enjoy it. Spread the word about our show, and hope you enjoy the time with me as much as I have with you, my friend.
Yeah, no, it was great, and I appreciate it, and I'm very grateful for it. Thank you, Jim.
The pleasure is mine. Let's stay in touch. Congratulations on the new album and everything thus far, my friend. And we'll chat again soon, Albert, okay?
All right. Awesome. Good night, everybody.
All right. You be well. You take care.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Cheers. Albert Cummings joining us here on the Jim Masters Show from the Berkshires of Western Massachusetts. Beautiful area. We go up there a lot, especially in the fall. We have a lot of relatives, as you know, in the New England area and the New York area, of course. So we're always up in that area. He's a good guy. He's a straight shooter, straight from, his heart and soul, plays it as he feels it, which is kind of refreshing. Albert Cummings is his name, and he may be coming to a town near you. But the music is available, Spotify, iTunes, everywhere else. Check it out. Other music that he has created is also available, but the latest is strong. And what was cool is we got a chance to hear about the making of the album and the reason for it, and some really poignant and interesting things that he was saying too, that I think was very, very special. Matter of fact, there was one story that he was going to say that he got cut off. Maybe he can finish that. Albert, you were mentioning and you got cut off. You were talking about you were there when your father had passed, and then that's when maybe you want to finish that one.
Well, it's one of those songs where people relate, because I wrote a song called "Meet the Man," and my dad passed away, and I literally was there with him, and I kissed him on the forehead, and I went home, and I wrote the song "Meet the Man," which was my father's views on death. And many people that have suffered loss have come up to me just completely in tears and told me that song has got them through things. And that is a really special moment. That's better than, I mean, it's not quite like being on the Jim Masters show, but it's very rewarding experience to have somebody come up and share that with you, that you've touched them. And that's why I do what I do. I think, that's what I crave, is being able to bond with people and bring something to people, and just, it brings me joy to bring people joy, So, I mean, it brings me joy to play music. So it brings me joy all the way around, but it really, really goes over the top when somebody relates to me with that, So it's just special.
I tell you, as much as it is therapeutic and inspiring, I think for everybody else that listens to it, it is for you as well as you're sharing it. So it's a 360, it's a full circle experience for everybody. Thanks for sharing that story. I wanted to I just thought about it at the end. I said, let's get him. If he's still there, let's get him back in.
Yeah, I was still here. I didn't know if I was supposed to.
A very important moment.
I'm watching the Jim Masters show.
He's watching the show. He's
watching you work for supper.
He's on the Jim Masters show. He's not going to sleep for a week. Wait till he tells the whole neighborhood, the whole Berkshire.
Yeah, I'm not hanging up now. Don't try to cut me off.
That's it. He's not cutting it out. He's all ready to go. But yeah, so that was, I wanted you to share that story about your dad. Of course. What was your father's name?
His name was Albert.
What was he like?
He was a big-hearted guy that was talented guy with good, he was a good builder, and he was a good guitar player in his day too. It's just
big part of your
just
life. Yeah.
Typical old, father
Good
from that generation, served in the career more.
The whole bit, right?
Yeah.
Good guy. Well, thanks for being so open and real and sharing those poignant stories and having some fun with us as well, Albert. And again, continued best of everything. And come see us again soon. We will keep that porch light on for you, from a friend.
All right.
Okay.
All right. I'll be looking for it.
All right. Spread the word about our show, and we'll see you again soon.
All right.
This was a little encore. Yeah, this was an encore, special bonus encore for the viewers. The encore performance. Be well, my friend.
All right. Thanks, Joe.
All right.
Bye,
Take
everybody.
care. Bye-bye now. All right. A little encore there. Yeah, I wanted him to finish that story because he got cut off when he was talking about his father and kissing him on the forehead. And that was really something quite special. Albert Cummings joining us here, coming to us from the Berkshires of Western Massachusetts, the Berkshire Mountains, great area. And we thank him for being here. Award-winning blues musician, virtuoso guitarist, singer, songwriter. This was an exclusive conversation, a JMS exclusive for all of you. There is the album. Check it out. It's called Strong. If you enjoyed this episode, give it a like. There's a thumbs up icon on our YouTube channel. Click the thumbs up like. Share this episode on your social media. We would love that. That helps us grow. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. That is terrific. And click the notification bell when you subscribe to the channel so you don't ever miss any of the episodes. And leave a comment in the comments section underneath the episode. Interact with us. We're very interactive, and we love hearing from all of you. Thanks, gang. It was a pleasure. It was nice seeing everybody watching live, and we appreciate all of those who are watching this archived. We welcome all the new viewers to the Jim Masters Show live series. If this is your very first time checking out JMS, well, you can binge watch hundreds and hundreds of episodes in our archives on our YouTube channel. And we thank everybody as well for liking, commenting, subscribing, and just joining us here and watching the Jim Masters Show Live series. This is your host, Jim Masters. Be well. Thanking you for your time this time. Till next time, love one another. Take care of one another. Come see us again. Don't forget to love yourself. Take care of yourself as well. We're going to continue watching the Olympics. We've been watching that, and we're very excited. Our USA gymnastic teams have been doing well, and swimming and all the rest. Cool stuff. Whatever you're doing, thanks for being with us. Come see us again. And thanks to all the live viewers, and thanks to all of those who are watching right now, recorded in the archives. We welcome you. Take care and be well, everybody. See you on the next episode. Oh, before we go, we've got some iconic people that are joining us. So let's do a little preview. We have the unbelievable music legend, iconic songwriter and singer Carol Connors is here. Carol has written some of the most incredible music of our time. She wrote this song, the theme to the movie Rocky, Gonna Fly Now, and countless more songs. She also was in a deep relationship with Elvis Presley. She has a tell-all brand new book out, her memoir, talking about all of it, from Elvis and Rocky to her, the Carol Connors story. She is going to be with us from Los Angeles, California tomorrow. This is going to be a really exciting episode. Again, she is responsible for so many hit songs. And again, she talks about her involvement with Elvis Presley, her involvement business-wise with Phil Spector, and much, much more. Then we have coming up on Thursday, if you love the Irish artists, Kieran Byrne is here, Irish singer and musician. These are all at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific. Kieran's going to be here. He is very popular. He's on fire. Yes, he's originally from Limerick, Ireland. He is in Chicago at the moment, and he's going to be with us on Thursday. And then on Friday, oh boy, the goddaughter of the iconic Jerry Herman, who has penned so many songs. Yes, like the music of Mame, the music of the original Hello Dolly, the music of La Cage aux Folles, and that's just the beginning. We're celebrating the iconic Jerry Herman with Jane Dorian, Jerry Herman's goddaughter, talking about his estate being available. Yes, they're auctioning off things from his estate now. He has passed, and it's going to be a very special episode. That's coming up on Friday. So we have some really major hitters here, big guests joining us here in the coming days. That is tomorrow, and that is Thursday, and that is Friday, all at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 5 p.m. Pacific time. And again, we thank Albert Cummings for stopping by JMS as well. And one more time, we thank you for joining us as well. Take care, be well. Come see us again. We'll see you soon right here on The Jim Masters Show. Cheers.